Welcome into the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Got a great show today, folks. I'll explain to you just really quickly. Over the weekend, the pollen exploded and so did my sinuses. So you may hear it in today's episode and possibly tomorrow's as well. I apologize beforehand. And I'll apologize to my guest as well. My guest today is a good one. Phylliskaras is with us, and she has a book, a wonderful book that I encourage you to pick up. We have it in the link, in a link in the description of this program. It's called Curse of the Blumenthals, and a fascinating read. You know, a lot of us like to trace our family history, and a lot of us have a pretty mundane family history. Phyllis's family history is far from mundane. Let me bring in our guest here. Phylliskaras is a professor of journalism at Boston University, a stringer for People magazine, and the author of 10 books. Brutal was a New York Times bestseller. The Onassis woman was the subject of a Dateline NBC special. Her work was or has appeared in Vogue, Miami Herald, Boston Magazine, and Moment Magazine, where her story on kosher slaughter was received or had received the Simon Rockhour Award for excellence. She's been interviewed on Extra, Hollywood Access, and Hardball. And we have a link to Phyllis's website as well in the description of this program, so you can check out more about Phyllis herself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome into the program for the first time, Phylliskaras. Hi, Phyllis. How are you?
Hi, Tim. It's a delight to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. I do want to commend you on this book. This book is highly fascinating. I mean, you know, we delve into our own family histories, and normally there's maybe a little bit of a scandal or two in our family's past, and you may do the little woo. That's a little titillating, but there's a lot of tragedy in the Blumenthal family, isn't there?
Yes, there is. And it was some I expected to find as I researched, but some was a total shock. Perhaps that's anyone that looks into their family's history could be a little shocked, but I was more than a little shocked.
Oh, it's devastating. And you know, we'll glance over it today because of course we want to leave the meat of it for people to read. But you know, during Prohibition, we'll just start with the basics. You've got some bootlegging that goes on there.
Yes, I had no idea. I thought we were this wonderful, innocent family, but bootlegging was pretty popular in the 20s and in the 30s. And for immigrant families, it was a way to make some money. So my relatives, the Blumenthals, did exactly that. Some were arrested, some lost their businesses, and some did very well. But that was definitely a part of my heritage. I am a bootlegger person, a relative.
But you know, there's, I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of, honestly, Phyllis. And I'll tell you why. You know, in this country now, alcohol is such a, I don't know, it's such a, I don't want to say it's an accepted and celebrated thing, but it's, you know, I don't know. We can make the argument it should be or it shouldn't be. It's as common as soda now, right?
Exactly. So but Prohibition was different.
Right. It was different. And true, it was a crime. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we were coming out of an era in which you're coming out of the Great Depression. People had to make money.
There was no money. There was nothing to put food on the table. And it was crucial that you find something. And so they found that they would build stills in their garage and they would sell it. And sometimes they put themselves in great danger to do this and didn't succeed. None of them died from bootlegging, but there were a lot of arrests of Blumenthals during that period that I did not know about, but now I do.
And they chose, you know, they chose very smartly when it came to, or I don't know that that's proper English, but they chose wisely when it came to the liquor that they ran, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they found whiskey, which was something that they were able to access quickly from the countries that they had come from. Whiskey was a popular item, and it wasn't terribly difficult to create. You know, I always keep thinking I should do it myself and just see exactly what it takes to make whiskey. I haven't yet. Maybe that'll be a project afterwards, but I think I would have found it fascinating to find out exactly what you do in the still to make liquor and to make whiskey. But honestly, I'm not an expert on that, not yet anyhow.
Whiskey has a renaissance right now. Bourbons, whiskeys, yes. I mean, it is highly popular right now.
Bring back the stills. Maybe we should try it. Who knows?
See, I'm telling you.
It's not against the law.
And you can make a Blumenthal brand.
That would sound good, doesn't it? Blumenthal whiskey. Now, that's an idea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll pursue it with my relatives.
It's free. You got it. It's your trademark. You take it and run with it.
Thank you, Tim.
And if anything, it's kind of a redemption brand, right? I mean,
yes, it is. Absolutely. Yeah.
You could call the first line redemption.
Yes.
There you go.
Of different form.
Yeah. Of a different form. Sure. But it's, you know, I I do. And on top of that, the bootlegging eventually becomes a liquor store on one of the relatives, right? One of the relatives ends up making a liquor store out of it.
Right. Yeah, my Uncle Barney had a liquor store in Boston, and I never thought that that was connected to bootlegging. I just presumed that he ordered the alcohol and it came, but there were definitely parts of his liquor store that created by the bootlegging. And so he was a bootlegging person who then eventually owned a liquor store. So I guess it's good. He went from the illegal to the legal.
I mean, it's a natural transition when you
Mhm.
look at it, right?
Yeah, I had never thought about it till I started researching the book that some of my Uncle Barney's liquor came from stills, from a crime, a criminal activity, bootlegging.
Yeah, yeah. Again, you've got such a fascinating family background. Um, Although there's also a negative connotation to alcohol that comes with your family, and we'll talk about that here first. Um, there's a terrible accident, and I want to set this up with some of the players in your family here in this particular era that surround this terrible accident with your family. Explain to me some of the players here in your family that are involved in this accident, and let's talk about some of the members of that family first, so we get an idea of who we're talking about here.
I was just thinking when we were doing this interview that it was actually 90 years ago, 2 days ago, that the accident occurred. It was
Wow.
May 14th, 1935. So
Oh
it's
my
90
gosh.
years ago. It's not that far, well, it's 90 years, but still the fact that it's May and then I'm talking to you, it just seems really weird. But
Yeah.
anyhow, this was six relatives of mine, my grandmother, my two uncles, and two nephews and a niece. The children were all under the age of 12. That was especially heartbreaking. And they were driving in a small little car coming from visiting a relative in a hospital in West Hartford, Connecticut, and going back to the family house in Connecticut when they were run off the road by a much larger car in which the driver was incredibly drunk. I mean, when they opened the door, the alcohol just fell out and he was unable to even speak. He was so drunk. He crashed into the car. He survived. His car was bigger. He served, I think, a whole 12 months, a little bit less, for killing six people. And all of them died. They died at the accident, right at the scene. And that was the hardest part, Tim, was finding those photos. And it wasn't easy to find 1935 photos, but it was all over the country. It was, big news. And to see, I even found something that no one knew we had. I mean, I didn't find it physically, but I read about it, which was a receipt in my grandmother's pocketbook for six sandwiches that they had bought in a deli that they would eat on the ride home. And there was a pocketbook right in a photograph, with the receipt right in it. And it was just awesome to think of that. And there was also a shoe because a shoe came off one of the people. They all died instantly. Actually, the driver of the car, my Uncle Ruby, lived long enough to be able to tell the police who was in the car and identify their names, which gave them an identity. And it was one thing, just
Yep.
one idea.
Go ahead.
And that was those photos brought back such memories. And my relatives, we never knew the driver of the car, the person that crashed into my relatives. And that was important to me. I wanted an identity. I knew the relatives, I'd seen photos of them, I knew their ages, but I had no idea who had committed the crime. And I had this weird obsession that I would reach him. I mean, 1935, I mean, the chances of being alive were pretty small. But I
Right.
wanted just to reach him. Did I want to scream at him and say, look what you did? No, I kind of wanted just to make contact, if not with him, perhaps with one of his children or grandchildren or somebody, just to say, I just need you to know this story. I want you to hear it. And believe me, I tried. I could not find one living relative of this car driver. They were all gone. And that was devastating to me. I just wanted just to connect and I couldn't. So I let that go because you can push just so far. And even with AI, there's no way to find this relative. I'd like him to know. So maybe one of his relatives someday that I don't know about will pick up the book and we'll see that this person committed this crime. I also wanted to know who was in the car with him. There were two other people. I wanted to know where they were going, what they were doing. They were actually in a courtroom where they were trying to get one of the people in the car to have his Americanization completed. The judge threw them out of the courtroom because all three of them were so drunk. And so they got back in their car. They were heading back to Connecticut. My relatives were heading to Providence from Connecticut. And they were so drunk in the car by the time the cars met, there was no chance of survival for any of my relatives. But he survived. He served some time in prison. He was actually owned a funeral parlor. And one of the cars that he was driving was not with a hearse, but it was one of the big cars in which they pick up the mourners. And he got his license back very quickly to be able to drive and to be able to run his funeral home. He suffered, certainly he went to prison. He suffered for some degree, but certainly not what would happen today for a drunk driver killing 6 people.
You point out, and I'm sorry, Phyllis, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you point out in the book that the sentence he got then, as opposed to what he would have gotten now, is nothing. It was a drop in the bucket, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And he complained about it. I found letters in which he said, I am suffering for this. I thought, my goodness, it was a minimum security prison. He had lots of visitors. I have all the letters that people wrote to him. He had also had some relatives that were in government. So in Connecticut, a state rep. So I think that must have helped him. My relatives, remember, this is 1935. Anti-Semitism was certainly extreme at the time. And there wasn't all that much thought about the 6 relatives, the 6 victims. Although there were lots of newspaper articles and lots of pictures of the crash, which are hideous to look at. But I kind of wanted my relatives to know the name of this person. So that felt good. I almost don't even want to pronounce the name because it's like giving him,
we have to.
So I'm not going to even mention it.
We don't have to name it.
I know who he is.
Yeah. And the name's in the book if people really care to know it. Yeah.
Without question. Yeah.
Right. And the names of the others that were involved are in the book as well. If they care to know it as well. And it's kind of a disgusting scenario too, to sit and read as to how put upon this particular individual felt.
Sorry.
It really disgusted me.
Mm-hmm. When I was screaming out loud, oh, you poor thing. Oh, you poor thing. Look what you went through. And
right.
I have a feeling that he continued to drink for the rest of his life. I'm sure that didn't stop him.
No
way. But God, to get behind the wheel and be so drunk that you don't even know where you're going. He went the wrong way on the road. I mean, it was in the middle of the day. It wasn't in the evening. The lights were right. But I wanted to see that highway. I wanted to see exactly where the crash was. I was fascinated by people who were interviewed for having seen the accident and what they said about how he just came out of nowhere and the car was so scary that they knew he was going to crash into someone. He was just all over the road. It just happened to be my relatives. But I wanted to hear all those comments and I wanted to bring it back, as painful as it was. I wanted to bring it to the light. And there again is alcohol, of course.
Yeah. And that's alcohol playing a role in the family.
Right.
After that, it seems like the family is pretty much torn apart for quite some time, but there is a small little miracle that comes just days after this horrible tragedy, isn't there?
Exactly. I think it's exactly 4 months after that. The driver of the car was Reuben, and his brother Barney, who was obviously not in the car, and his wife produced their very first child 4 months after the accident. And after 6 hideous funerals and periods of mourning and so much pain, all of a sudden a baby boy is born, and he's named Ronald after Reuben, and he's physically magnificent, beautiful. It was like a phoenix, rising up out of the fire. It was so beautiful, and everyone cherished Ronnie. He was, there were a lot of Blumenthal cousins, but Ronnie was always the one that when he came into a room, even as a baby, everybody, they was so thrilled to see Ronnie. He was the good thing that happened after this, what my mother always called the accident. But then Ronnie produced the incident when he was 18 years old. And that was.
Okay. And we'll talk about that when we come back. Let's take our break here and we'll talk about what went on with Ronnie in the second part of this tragedy that happens with the Blumenthal family. And again, folks, it's fascinating. Most families have that one incident, the one incident in their background that really shakes the family. Not the Blumenthals. The Blumenthals tragedy continues over decades, and it's devastating, absolutely devastating. First, and again, Phylliskaras is our guest. Curse of the Blumenthals is the name of the book. We have a link in the description of this program. I want you to go get it during the break, and it's out today, as a matter of fact, the 19th of May. And want you to go get this book. So when we come back, we'll talk more about Ronnie again, this child, this golden child that's been born. We'll talk a little bit about his upbringing. We'll talk a little bit about what got him into trouble. And we'll talk about the case that is surrounding this. And we'll talk a little bit about what went wrong with Ronnie. That's coming up next here on True Crime Tuesday. But first, let's talk about another golden child here in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. That's Jelly Bean and Julia's. And the fact that I got a chance to stop over there this weekend. And boy, I'll tell you, folks, they are absolutely amazing. Jelly Bean and Julia's, their specials this week. Again, today through Thursday, they have 25% off their happy hour appetizers, including the appetizer sample. They also have half price single pour well drinks, half price Mick Golden Lights and Coors Light taps, half price domestic taps and bottles as well. On Friday, it's the smoked prime rib dinner that we tell you about every single week. That is absolutely amazing. Corey has that huge walk-in smoker there at Jelly Bean and Julia's, and that prime rib, either the 14 or the 16-ounce smoked prime rib, smokes all day long, and then it's ready for you at 4:30. It also comes with the Boston baked potato. You have the tequila berry salad, that sweet and tangy dressing, along with the bacon bits and the croutons. It's absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the top 5 meals you'll have in your entire life, folks. It is absolutely, absolutely fantastic. Again, they start serving at 4:30 and it's there until it's gone. Get there early so that you get that smoked prime rib. On Sundays, breakfast only on Sundays there at Jelly Bean and Julia's, chicken and waffles and much, much more. Brisket with the hash. Oh, folks, I tell you, I could live at Jelly Bean and Julia's. It's amazing. It's absolutely an amazing restaurant. JellyBeanandJulius.com. There's a link in the description of this program. All right, when we come back with Phylliskaras, we'll talk about Ronnie, the golden child of the Blumenthal family, Curse of the Blumenthals, next here on True Crime Tuesday. Welcome back to the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. My guest is Phylliskaras. The name of the book is Curse of the Blumenthals. Excellent book, folks. I want you to go ahead and get it right now. We have a link in the description of this program. It comes out today, as a matter of fact. So go get that book. Go get it. When last we left you, we were talking about the fact that already 6 of the Blumenthal family has been taken out by a drunk driver in a terrible, terrible accident. And out of that accident, just 4 short months afterwards, Ronnie was born, who's really become the golden child of the family, almost literally golden child, Phyllis, because he's got this beautiful blonde hair, right?
Exactly. He was exquisite. I mean, look at pictures of him. Of course, I know him as an adult, but he was really a beautiful, beautiful baby. Most of the Blumenthals were dark-haired, but for some reason, this child was completely blonde, very pale blonde with big blue eyes. So he looked different than all of them. And he was, for sure, different.
Now, with Ronnie growing up, it's safe to say that the table is pretty much set with him, right? I mean, his mother dotes on him quite a bit. I probably more than most. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, he was an only child. She was unable to have any more children. So he was extremely precious to her and to my Uncle Barney, who was very busy working at the liquor store. But he was just the chosen child, the favorite nephew, and certainly the favorite and only child in his family.
Now, at one point, and not to throw too many spoilers out there, but he probably could have had his choice of job. If not going to work with Dad, with Uncle Barney, he probably could have gone to work within the Blumenthal family elsewhere, right? There were other occupations if he chose, right?
Yeah, there certainly were. I've often wondered if perhaps he had some educational problem because he actually did not graduate with his class at Brookline High School when he was 18. And he had to go on to a special school to get extra credits. And maybe he just wasn't concentrating, but I don't know. Perhaps there was some reason that he was unable to continue and graduate and do academically as well as he might. I'm not sure college would have been in his future. I think everyone assumed he'd go work at the liquor store or get some other nice job because he was so handsome and personable. So it seemed
that's one thing that comes up quite often here is that he takes to people right away. He's bright, he's bubbly, he takes to people right away. Doesn't seem to be an issue kind of sidling up to people and they like him. They love him.
He does drive a little too fast.
He does. He does. Yes.
Does. And he's always given, he's spoiled. There's no question. One of my cousins was saying when they would go out for lunch with Ronnie, they would share a hot dog, and Ronnie would order a steak and French fries. And, he had far more money than the typical Blumenthal child cousin did have. And he spent it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was a playboy, no question.
He did also have a little bit of penchant for wanting to be a little naughty, right?
Yes. He
There's
did get
that.
in trouble. Yep. He actually threw a firecracker into an open car that some girls were driving, a convertible. A miracle that no one was killed. It didn't really explode and they were able to put it out. But when you think of that, especially family history with a horrible car accident, and then he's driving and sees an open convertible and throws a firecracker in. I mean, that's even a little bit more than just being naughty. That was really scary. But
No,
yeah.
he's aware of the family history, though, right? I mean, he knows what's going on.
He knows who he was born for. There was, so many trips that the relatives would make to the cemetery to see the 6 headstones and many different holidays. And, you couldn't grow up and be a Blumenthal and not know about the accident, and my mother would always say, well, this happened before the accident. And this was after the accident. And then, of course, Ronnie became the incident.
So why so carefree then, Phyllis? Why the nonchalant attitude towards?
Because that's how the world treated him. He just was treated that way. The beauty, the physical beauty.
Mhm.
And, his mother always called him Ronala. I mean, the world was at his feet. He just was chosen. And my Uncle Barney was a little more wealthy than my other aunts and uncles, so he had more. He had a beautiful home. The others all lived in, a 3-family together. So it was a little different. He was just the chosen.
Now, after this incident with the firecracker, things seem to get a little worse. I mean, now we mentioned his physical beauty, but it seems that he's discovered girls at this point, but it seems too that maybe he might have discovered older women. Is this a fact?
That's the hardest part for me to put my finger on. I mean, he had tons of girlfriends. There were several incidents. There was one that supposedly broke his heart when he went away for the summer, and she wrote him a Dear John letter, and he was very heartbroken. And then he comes back to his home, and somehow or other, he ends up in the apartment of a woman who's in her 40s, late 40s, and he's not even 18. He's still 17, and ends up, we're not sure. There's so many question marks. Did this happen? How did it happen? But he is accused of the murder of this particular woman. And her name was oraschnonarth, and she was a seamstress, and he had gone to her house in Brookline, not very far from his own parents' house, to pick up a raincoat that she was repairing for his mother. And he sent on this errand. And then something happened. I mean, something happened in her house. All we know is she ended up dead. And it's so weird, Tim. My mother always said to me that it really wasn't a murder. It was an accident. He pushed her. She fell. She banged her head. So she, was never called the murder. It was called the incident. And he certainly didn't mean it. Well, I researched it. This was no push. This was a hideous murder. It involved strangulation, a knife through her heart, and literally destroying her head. So this was it premeditated? That we'll never know, because it didn't seem to be. But in investigating it, I did find that relatives near her house knew who he was. They had seen my cousin Ronnie, a young, handsome boy, going into her apartment. So there had to be more than just that one night. And of course, as we find out later, this woman, Ora, was the mistress of his father, my Uncle Barney. And that kind of ties it a little more firmly.
Which, again, when you pick up the book, it makes your head spin.
Yeah.
I mean, just how deep this whole thing goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ronnie says something, actually, right after the murders happen. Ronnie says a key phrase, which
you can't get rid of.
Yeah, you can't get it out of your head.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Phyllis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it happens actually much years later when he's out of prison and he's a father and he's talking to his 8-year-old son, Mark, my cousin Mark, an absolutely beautiful, beautiful Blumenthal in The Last of Us. And he's trying to explain to him, because he knows Mark's going to school and people might know the name Blumenthal and they might link it with this infamous murder. So he tells him the story of what happened. Not exactly sure how he put it, but Mark says when he was through, he said, "Do you have any questions, kid?" Mark always called him Ron. He never called him Dad, and that's because he wasn't much of a dad. And he says, "Yeah, I got one question, Ron. Did you do it?" And Ronnie says right away, "No, I took the rap for Grandpa." I mean, that statement just echoes. And I never heard it until I interviewed Mark, and neither had any of my other cousins. But there was suspicion. There was newspaper articles. There was definite suspicion that since this woman, this seamstress, this Aura, was my Uncle Barney's mistress, that perhaps he had been part of the murder. Or had my Aunt Edith, in a jealous furor, been part of it. The police records are very inconclusive. There's too many loopholes in to think that maybe he didn't do it. Maybe there was help, but he confessed to it at 4 o'clock in the morning without a lawyer present at the police station. He confessed to it. And they avoided a trial because the electric chair was still fuming, and
Yeah.
he was Jewish, and the Rosenbergs had just been executed in that same spot. Well, in a different electric chair, but this one was available. And so rather than consider it premeditated, he confessed second-degree murder, and he was given a life sentence.
Not only that, but before the police got a hold of him, didn't he tell two other girls that he had done it?
Yes, how bizarre. And he repeated exactly the details of how this woman was killed. So he had to have either been there or planned it. And was he just, forgive me, dumb? Did he not know what is he doing? Was he just trying to impress a couple of girls with how powerful he was? Was he frightening them? I don't know. They sort of, waved it off. Oh, Ronnie, just being Ronnie, until the next morning when the newspapers came out and there was the description of the murder, exactly how Ronnie had told them. So those two girls became, especially one of them, became very important in the investigation.
Ronnie has other sides of his personality which are intriguing as well. You had mentioned one, in that he has a son as well, Mark, who he was an absolutely horrendous father to. There was no attachment to Mark whatsoever. That relationship in itself is worth the price of the book. I think just to see the if you want a case study of an alcoholic narcissist, I mean, your cousin's it, right?
Perfect description.
Yeah, I mean, it to see in I guess a womanizer too, because there's that in there as well. But to see what Ronnie does after because eventually he does serve his time, and he manages to operate within the prison system and still have a love life. Which I don't
That's
get.
amazing.
I've never gotten that. Between you and I, Phyllis, if we can have this conversation for a couple of minutes here, how prisoners manage to, even though they can't touch or have relations with someone who's not their wife, but they still manage to maintain some sort of romantic relationship. Your cousin managed to do that with not one, but two women?
Yes, and actually, I have the letters, and the letters show it all. They could not touch. They couldn't hold hands. There were phone calls that were allowed. There were presents that were sent to the women from my aunt and uncle. But there were beautiful letters that were written. There were disc jockeys that would dedicate a song at a certain time to one of the girls. And I think the most fascinating one is Flo. And that was my sister's college roommate. And my sister Toby brought Flo to visit Ronnie in prison. We all did. I brought my boyfriends. I brought my fiance. It wasn't pleasant, believe me, being strip searched before you went in, and having to go into those dark, horrible rooms with gates closing behind you was awful. But somehow or other getting there and then seeing Ronnie, he was even in prison, he was just so handsome, and he was charming. He was reading books for the blind. He was curious. And so the visits went smoothly. And young girls, women, he was at that time, he was more like 20, 22. And Flo was about 4 years younger than he at the time. And my sister was there, and she said there was this instant attraction. You could just feel it in the room. And for the next 3 years, this beautiful Flo, instead of going out and dating and seeing people, is restricting her life to 2 weeks, two visits a week with Ronnie, and many, many dinners with my Aunt Edith and my Uncle Barney, who were so thrilled that she was there and making their son happy and giving him thoughts of a future, that it was quite beautiful. And as it turned out, Flo eventually left because he just was being turned down for parole time after time. And her parents, needless to say, were not happy with her boyfriend. And the pressure from her own family was very different than the pressure she was getting from Barney and Edith, who sent her presents and gave her a hope chest and put nightgowns and beautiful things in the hope chest. So they broke up, and that was very painful for both of them. But as you will see in the book, they did reunite many years later.
And there's also other relationships in there as well that again we can save that for the book, that you can see that Ronnie's, again, he's managing to, and I think half the game for Ronnie is the manipulation, right? It's the
Narcissism.
inside the head.
Yeah, the narcissism. And he had this way. I mean, I loved my visits with him. I hated getting there and I hated getting into the prison room. But once I was there, it was just, he was just charming and bright. And the 2 hours, it was funny. My mother, we all brought food. My mother, well, we all learned very quickly that, like, my mother would always bring a brisket. And my Aunt Edith made sure we all knew that whatever you bring, if it's strudel, if it's a coffee cake, if it's brisket, you bring two. One is for Ronnie and one is for the gods. And that always seemed to soften things a little bit. We felt that there was some protection for Ronnie in prison. Either we were stupid and we didn't really see the horror of what might have happened when we left the prison room. But one of my Aunt Edith, who was not a Blumenthal, her brother-in-law was a very powerful person in Massachusetts. He owned a great deal of real estate, was very wealthy. And we feel that he was very important in the sentencing of Ronnie, so they did not get the death penalty, and also protecting him to some bit for those 14 years in prison.
And by the way, we're huge on food on this show, and you put the recipes for the strudel and the brisket in the book. So, folks, I'm telling you, I'm making that brisket.
I'm making the strudel. I have a big book launch in a few days, and we're making strudel for 120 people.
Oh my gosh, really?
I have a team working with me. There's no way I can do it myself, but
Yeah.
Most delicious strudel and the brisket. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it just sounded so wonderful.
Food was important wherever you are.
Even better, my nephew has a smoker, so I think just to cook it and bring it over there and put it on the smoker, it would be.
Send me a piece. Yeah.
I must. Yeah, I must. Most definitely, Phyllis, because it just sounded so wonderful.
It seems bizarre to put cookbooks in a book, cook recipes in a book that's about two terrible tragedies, but that was my family, and food was important. And
yes, I think especially if you're writing a book about, history, tradition goes along with history, right? So it's absolutely, I think it's absolutely necessary to put it in there. It's part of your family, so why not put it in there?
And maybe someone will make it and that will feel good that my Aunt Etta is a little bit alive, or my mother, or it feels good to continue in one way or the other.
And I think it's also important too that we get to connect to your family that way, to try the recipe and be able to connect just a little bit more with your family.
Yeah. Where'd you get this recipe? Oh, I got it from a book about a murder. Okay.
Well, more importantly, I get to connect to the Blumenthals.
Exactly.
So yeah, I get to, I got to know the Blumenthals a little bit, and this is their recipe.
That's important to me. Recipe. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's the way I choose to remember it. I got to know this wonderful family known as the Blumenthals, and this is their recipe. So that's how I would pass it on to someone.
Thank you. I like that.
Yeah. So that's how I would tell somebody. Absolutely, Phyllis. I would ask you this question because you had mentioned earlier that Ronnie sits down with Mark and he basically says, I took the rap, or I took the fall for Grandpa. But when you look at Ronnie's character in hindsight, and you see that there is this alcoholic, narcissistic womanizer who basically sits down with his son, looks him in the eye and says, oh, I took the fall for the old man.
Yeah, good.
And, Mark knows his grandpa is this kind old man who would come out and get him and spend time with him, unlike his father.
Exactly.
Do you do you honestly think, looking at Mark, do you think Mark actually believes that? And furthermore, do you believe that he took the fall for Grandpa?
Cannot tell you how many times we discussed that over and over with Mark, with my other cousins, with relatives. Is that true? Is not? And I know people that read about the murder said that there was always the suspicion that Barney was involved in somehow or other. He was such a kindly, warm man. How could he have allowed such a thing to happen? But this is the mystery. And I'll never know. I went to see a psychic because I thought maybe somebody in another world could help me answer that question, and came up blank. Just did. But I have another psychic that I'm going to try. I am determined to find out if there's any truth, if I can ever find it out, to that simple statement. I took the rap for Grandpa. And honestly, Mark was the best thing that happened to me in the book, because he had been removed from the family. He and his mother, after the divorce, had moved to Memphis, and then they had moved to Birmingham, Alabama. And so we kind of lost touch with him. And through the book, I got him back. And oh my God, if you want the total antithesis of Ronnie, that is Mark. He doesn't drive. He doesn't drink. He's totally faithful and in love with his wife of 25 years. He has a wonderful work ethic. He's musically talented, and he's pretty much almost as handsome as his father. But I'm so glad I got in touch with him, and I certainly do not intend to lose that, because he was so important in the book, because he saw things of Ronnie that none of us did. And he's just a beautiful, beautiful person.
Do you have a psychic picked out, or are you looking for
Yeah,
one?
I do. I
You
do.
do. Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
I do. I've
we
got my
have one
questions all lined up, and I'm
we
ready.
got them all lined up. Okay. I was going to say, we have one that's been on this program that has helped with cold cases with the FBI. That'd be more
Really?
than happy to.
And I get that from you then, just to check on that. Yeah, thank you.
We can talk off air if you'd like. And
Absolutely. Yes.
we can line that up if you'd like. Because I think, to get an honest, maybe some closure, that I think that'd be more than fair. It's, to me, and again, I encourage everyone to read this book, and because it's fascinating that this, and it's interesting that you've named it Curse of the Blumenthals, because I guess, again, as we're beginning to wrap up here, Phyllis, to you, do you see this continuing in your family? Because curse suggests that this is handed down from bloodline and through the bloodline from generation to generation. Has it stopped?
I mean, did someone do this, create this, so we're all going to suffer for it? I truly did not want to title the book Curse of the Blumenthals. But my agent, who was a former editor of mine with another book, and I trust him explicitly, said, no, that is the title. You just have to use it. And now I'm kind of glad I did, because it is a curse. Where it came from, I have no idea. Has it ended? I want to believe that it has. I want to believe that through Mark and the beauty of this young man, that it has. And there's so much love in my family. My cousin Toby just turned 90 yesterday, and everyone was so thrilled and so happy to celebrate with her. And wherever we are, we're scattered. We're not together as we used to be. We're in California, we're in New Jersey, we're all over the place, but we're cousins. And we used to have cousins clubs and get together. We don't do that anymore, but we keep in touch with each other. My mother always had this phrase, and it comes clearer to me as I grow older, that when you lose one member, six members of your family in a terrible tragedy, you will never lose another. And we did not lose Ronnie. Faithful visits from every cousin, staying with him as long as we possibly could until it became impossible. So we did not lose him. I think he lost us.
That's fair to say. Very fair to say. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, folks, I'm going to encourage you to go get the book. Again, we have a link in the description of this program. It's called Curse of the Blumenthals. Phylliskaras, our guest, is the author of that wonderful book. Phyllis, I want to thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you. It was delightful to be with you. Thank you.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much. Folks, it's time for us to switch gears. It's time for us to bring in Jessica Freeberg, and it's time now for Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals.
It's Crayon News story time.
What happened with this dude, Christ Bearer? I heard he cut his penis off and then jumped off a balcony.
Suspect pulls gun from butt, shoots twice at Denver police.
What is your emergency?
I need help.
And what's the problem?
I'm too high.
You're too high?
Yeah.
It's that time again, that time you've all been looking forward to. It's time now for Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals. And with that, I need my co-hostess. So I reach across town and I welcome back to the big program the one, the only, the one that Bender says, I've pledged my allegiance to her, my liege. I don't know who he's talking to. It can't be me. I mean, not possibly. It can't be. And he's ordered the barrels of ink. He's got the scrolls ready to go. He says the chart shall be made and be ready to be broken. He's awaiting the tomes as we speak. He says he's expecting 57 of them as we speak. I said, Bender, slow your roll, buddy. You can maybe arrange for a small vacation with the family. Don't get carried away, though, because get ready. She's the eater of world, destroyer of charts. She's ready to destroy all the charts you're ready to make. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is. She's bringing the funny. She's bringing the knowledge. And she's here to entertain. Here she is, Jessica Freeberg. Hi, Jess.
Hey, Tim. Good to see ya.
Good to see you, too. How was the weekend?
Oh my gosh. The weekend was bananas. My son graduated from college and my older daughter turned 21.
Oh, my gosh.
And we moved everyone home from college all at the same time.
So the parties were a-flowing and you were moving stuff.
Oh man, it was a whirlwind. I'm exhausted.
I bet you are.
I need a weekend after my weekend.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, most definitely. I feel like I need a weekend after my weekend too. I've learned that I'm allergic to tree sex. That's what I learned this weekend.
What?
I think
Tree sex?
I don't know if this is allergies or if it's a cold or what this is, but yeah. I have a whole comedy bit about it now. But yeah, I was talking to the old combat rev Travis this weekend, and he goes, "Yeah, man, tree sex," or as he put it, tree effing, because you know him, he loves to swear, and he goes, "Yeah, man, they're just doing it, and it's I believe he said tree effing in your face is the way he put it. It exploded all over my face, as he put it. So it was I'm trying not to think of it that way.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was kind of graphic. But
Well, I mean, as long as it's the trees having sex and not you having sex with a tree, because that could cause splinters.
Well, and I'd be in jail. I would think, yeah.
Are there laws against that? I don't know.
In this state, I'm sure the DNR would come get me.
I mean, there should be laws against it. I'm sure people have done it before because people are weird.
They are, yeah. Not only that, but I'm sure a random squirrel would come out and grab it. You know, and something like that would happen.
Well, if there's a hole in the tree, there's something living in that hole. So
That's true. There are no glory holes in the forest. I'm sure,
Oh my. Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. We can definitely hear it it's in your head right now, and what you said, it's slowly moving down into your chest. So
Yeah.
hopefully you won't have a cough attack.
Well, I'm trying not to. Every hole's a habitat. I don't know why that's sticking in right now too, but
I think that's a t-shirt idea. Every hole's a habitat. Darkness Radio.
That's right. Every hole's a habitat. Darkness Radio. There is no off position in this genius switch, even when you're not feeling well, right?
Absolutely. Sometimes that's when your best idea gets in there. It's a fever dream situation.
I blame it on the cold medicine. That's they make some good stuff. I went to the store this weekend. I said, "Give me the good stuff that's behind the counter." I don't want the
Yes.
stuff in front of the counter. I want the stuff behind the counter. I've got an ID.
Yes. Here's my driver's license.
Yeah, give me the stuff that'll interact with my pain meds. I want that stuff.
I really find when I've had a cold and I start using like the nighttime stuff, I usually take it like a week after I'm feeling better just because I'm like, oh, but I sleep so good.
Oh yeah, right.
You
You just
know?
knock right out. You
Yeah.
get the best sleep, or it's the most panicked, fever dreamed sleep you ever had. But you're like, you know
Yeah.
what? I don't care. I'm sleeping deep.
I mean, I love weird dreams, so that's just a bonus.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you're right. You do get some of the best sleep ever on that stuff. Although not to get gross, but I'm going to get gross here for a second. That first cough after you wake up is I mean, it's like coughing up a demon. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But after that, I mean, it is the
Yeah.
best sleep I've ever had. Yeah.
And if it's a productive cough, it's like, there's your breakfast.
Oh, that's horrible.
You're not hungry after that.
Although it is a little bit like egg flu young. Yeah. Yeah. I
Oh,
try not to think of
gross.
that when I do order egg foo young at a Chinese restaurant. I go, you know, I had that 2 weeks ago.
This is familiar.
Yeah, it was right after I woke up after a huge NyQuil binge. Mm-hmm.
Oh, rough.
No. All right. Now that we've grossed everyone out, we can get to
Is,
the.
is anyone still listening?
No, they turned it off. Yeah, we're done. Yeah.
We
They're
started with
like,
holes in trees and then we're eating phlegm for breakfast. I
yeah.
don't know what's happening.
They're like, what's that got to do with whatever it is you started out to talk about? Yeah. Yeah. We should just rename this ADD Theater. And just say, welcome to ADD Theater, that section of the program after True Crime Tuesday that you just
Well, for those of you who stuck around, we've got some true crime now.
We do, and we got some good stories today. Boy,
Good.
I'm telling you, the weather's warmed up and people are finding nuts in trees. It's just the nuts you are thinking of, not the nuts that are being collected by animals. By the way, a little bit of an extensive not safe for work category today. So that'll be fun.
Of course, that's what happens when it gets warm outside.
That's right. So there's and by the way, a famous not safe for work story today, or semi-famous.
Ooh,
a reality TV from the past. Not safe for work today. So that'll be fun. We have that to look forward to. Are you a fan of some of the past reality TV shows?
I've been loving reality TV for a long time, so
Did you
hopefully I've heard of this one.
Did you ever watch Bam Margera's show?
No, that one I've not watched. Is that who it's about?
It's about Don Vito. So, so we'll talk about him a little bit later. But first, we're going to San Francisco, Jess, for this first one. A San Francisco man has been charged in 27 separate Walgreens thefts in San Francisco, but he needs more. He needs to do more. He's prolific. He's got, I don't know, groceries to shop for. I don't know what you're nabbing at Walgreens that you need to rob it 27 times. Is there really that good of stuff at Walgreens that you need to rob the place 27 times?
Do you think it's all the tree sucks? Do you think he just needs some NyQuil?
Yeah, he's
allergy pills.
Yeah, there's that much Visine that you need. I don't know what is there that, I try to think of how often I go to Walgreens. The only reason I've had to go there recently is that I'm almost embarrassed to say this. There's a morphine shortage right now. They're the only ones who have it. That's the only reason I've had to go to Walgreens lately. There's other alleged prolific retail thieves also, it says also nabbed. The San Francisco Police Department Organized Retail Crime Task Force on Thursday announced the arrests of and charges against 5 individuals accused of prolific retail thievery in the city. I guess it's a big thing now. The most prolific of the accused group is 24-year-old Tyrese Boswell, who, according to police, targeted 2 Walgreens locations in North Beach and No Valley on 27 separate occasions, stealing nearly $40,000 in, get this, cosmetics and other merchandise. So evidently, there's no one at the cosmetics counter in Walgreens.
That's a whole lot of CoverGirl.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's mainly what they have, CoverGirl. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not going to get the high buck stuff at Walgreens. Yeah. Boswell's initial arrest came on December 24th of 2025, at which point he was accused of burglarizing the Walgreens at 1175 Columbus Avenue in North Beach a total of 18 times. Following his release, Boswell allegedly continued his pattern of retail theft at a different Walgreens, this time on Castro Street in No Valley. The San Francisco Police Department task force says that Boswell was engaged in a week-long theft spree that led to a second arrest on April 4th, 2026. And in that spree, he reportedly hit the No Valley store on 7 separate occasions. After being arrested and released again pending a new court date, Boswell returned to the same No Valley Walgreens and allegedly robbed it 2 more times after getting arrested for a third time on April 16th of 2026. He's facing 9 counts of felony second-degree burglary, as well as 7 counts of grand theft, along with 7 counts of petty theft with prior convictions. Another alleged thief who targeted the Polk Street Walgreens, 36-year-old, this is the name, Faniel Rusher, was arrested on Rusher. Wasn't he on tour not too long ago, Rusher? What, didn't he show up at
he's a heck of a dancer.
Yeah, Rusher was on the Kevin Hart roast, I think. I watched him last weekend. Was arrested on April 29th in connection with over a dozen retail thefts, as well as violation of a stay-away order that stemmed from earlier thefts at the same store. Additionally, the Retail Crime Task Force announced the arrest of 2 women identified as 33-year-old Jacqueline Michael and 35-year-old Darlene Gilbert. The pair is accused of stealing around $3,200 worth of merchandise. Amateurs. But they went for the meat, seafood, and produce that evidently is at Walgreens. Who knew? No, they were at Safeway locations across 14 separate incidents. So they were hitting the Safeways in San Francisco. Retail theft rings, Jess, in San Francisco.
Making the prices go up for the rest of us.
That's right. It's not just inflation bringing those prices up. That's for sure. Another odd story is a Boston University law student who owed $20,000 in tuition allegedly threatened the students and staff.
Ooh.
But he didn't do it from Boston. Are you ready for this? Supposedly or allegedly. This is an odd story. A Boston University law student was arraigned on Friday for allegedly threatening students and staff at the school. Prosecutors said it began in January when 29-year-old Maximilian Sajus was informed by the school that he owed $20,000 in tuition. He found issue with that, said one of the prosecutors in court. Sajus he sent around 200 emails to the university. He sent them. So he just spent his days sending emails to the university, which included threats, according to court documents. Boston U reached out to Sajus about his mental health, but they did not hear back. Evidently,
are you okay?
Yeah. It's 20 grand, dude. We'll get it back through your loan officer. Trust us. We will.
Yeah.
Prosecutors said that Sajus also trespassed on BU properties. The school requested a wellness check at his residence in Chelsea, but Sajus was not home at the time. And police said the large pile of mail indicated he hadn't been there in quite a while. His neighbors explained that he kept to himself most of the time, and a strong smell of marijuana came from his unit. I was surprised. I recently just moved here, and we seen our neighbors and talked to them. It was just surprising that someone next to you is a person like that, Anisha Patel said. Sajus then began to email several BU officials, including the Dean of Students, Jason Campbell Foster, and Associate Dean Geraldine Muir at 12:12 a.m. Eastern Time on April 23rd. Court documents show that the email read, "If you see any report that I killed myself, I most definitely did not. If you see any report that I overdosed, I most definitely did not. If you see a report that I killed anyone else, such as Jerry Muir, Jason Campbell Foster, or others, I most definitely did not." So he most definitely did not.
He didn't do any of those things.
No. Evidently, he had a plan to do all this stuff, but he did not.
Is he trying to say that he's going to be framed for all of the above, potentially? That's very strange.
I think he's trying to lead people away from the fact that he's planning on doing this stuff. You know, it's the red herring, I guess. The red herring.
Weird.
Boston University police located Sajus using his cell phone, which showed he was in Hong Kong at the time. That same day, he allegedly called BU and asked to speak to Campbell Foster, who was not available. He then asked if the dean was at home or on campus. Sajus refused to leave a message or speak to anyone else, according to Suffolk County District Attorney Kevin Hayden. Sajus then allegedly emailed Muir with a screenshot of an apartment complex, an apartment number where he believed she lived. Muir reported it to the police, saying she feared for her safety, and said that Sajus had tried to contact her brother the month before. He allegedly posted another set of photos on Instagram, which included Dean Campbell Foster with his husband and child alongside a throwing up emoji. He also posted a Google search asking if Luigi Mangione was a hero and an image of a target practice that was geotagged as Brookline, according to prosecutors, Brookline, Massachusetts. He then also allegedly posted a criminal record for another man, Jason Campbell Foster, with the text, "Jason, you will learn to never mess with a sajus in your life." In other words, him. And tagged Boston University. "This is who y'all hired?" With the question mark. Sajus's attorney said there is not enough evidence to suggest that he made those posts. So they're saying you can't prove it was him. I think you can prove it was him. Prosecutors said that Sajus then traveled from China to Paris, France at some point, where he asked the U.S. Embassy for help flying back to Boston because he had run out of money. What is this guy doing?
This is wild.
He was then arrested at Logan Airport after returning from Paris. The level of detail in this harassment campaign is extremely disturbing, Hayden said in a statement. "We have too often seen the results when situations like this are not treated with the seriousness they deserve. And that was certainly not the case here. He has been charged with 2 counts of stalking, threatening to commit a crime, and making a bomb or hijack threat, and criminal harassment. He will be held when he is due back in court on May 21st, which is just a couple of days from now, or 1 or 2 days from now, actually. Students said that it was scary to hear that this was happening ahead of graduation weekend. They then said they had an increase in police presence over the last few days, including bomb sniffing dogs. "It's unreal to some degree," said one student. "I may be still just a little bit in shock about the fact that this was happening, and I didn't know," another student said. Rachel Cavalerio, who's a spokesperson for Boston University, said its police department had been working in close partnership with local and federal law enforcement. "We're grateful for the collaboration and to the effectiveness of our coordinated response," she went on to say. Just a bizarre story out of Boston University.
Very strange. So much going on. It's like a movie.
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Jumps on a plane, goes to 2 different countries, asks for a plane ride home because he ran out of money, but can harass from his phone.
Yeah. And if these people are dead, I did not kill them.
Yeah, I did. I'm not responsible. I did not do it. It's not me.
Didn't kill myself. Didn't OD. Didn't kill nobody.
Yep. Didn't do a thing. Wasn't me. Bizarre. We've stated in the past, Jess, if you're going to confess something, don't do it to ChatGPT. Probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, another one bites the dust. A student pleads guilty after a ChatGPT confession. This perp copped to vandalism spree. It's in a 3 a.m. convo with an AI program. What probably happened is you're schmealing a little bit, got on the ChatGPT, said, "All right, I did it." Although all that's, I don't know if you know this, kids, all that's recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably don't want to.
It's not a private conversation.
That's right. The Missouri collegian who confessed to ChatGPT following a drunken criminal rampage pleaded guilty this week to a felony charge for vandalizing 17 vehicles in a campus parking lot. 20-year-old Ryan Schaefer copped to property damage counts during a circuit court appearance in connection with a 3 a.m. spree last year, during which he shattered car windows, ripped off side mirrors, dented hoods, and broke windshield wipers at Missouri State University in Springfield, Missouri. Schaefer is scheduled to be sentenced on July 27th. Quick, Jess, I want you to tell me which band he fronts.
Well, he definitely has a lot of hair. I don't know. I mean, he looks like he's in like a band from the 90s.
Yes, it is a band from the 90s.
Green Day? I don't know.
I'm sorry. It is Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine is the proper answer to this question. Rage Against the Machine. You'll have to move on to the bonus round now. Rage Against the Machine was the proper
All right. I'll do better next time. Actually, I can't promise that.
Well, the Class E felon, he doesn't really, folks. He just looks like the lead singer from Rage Against the Machine. While the Class E felony carries a range of punishment of between 1 and 4 years in state prison for busting up a college. Wow.
Jeez.
I think he probably should have kept his mouth shut, 1, and 2, he probably should just spend his days drinking in his dorm room. Schaefer, who is free on $7,500 bond, could be locked up for a special term not to exceed 1 year in the Greene County Jail. How do you qualify for that? The Springfield Police Department investigation of the vandalism spree discovered that minutes after damaging the autos, Schaefer had a lengthy chat GPT conversation during which he confessed to the crime. Okay, here's the deal. All right, so, man, life is not fair. I just had to take it out on something, man. I just had to get it out, man. Because my therapist says you just shouldn't hold it in. You should let it out. So I was in the parking lot, and the man is just was like, "You car, you damn car, you'd run me over if I didn't run you over."
Self-defense.
Yeah, yeah. He got them before they got him. Asked about the possibility of getting caught. He actually asked ChatGPT if he could get caught for doing what he did. What do you think?
Yeah, dummy. Now you can.
Yeah, yeah. And he wondered, is there any way they could know it was me? Which ChatGPT probably, as you said, Jess, said, now they do.
Yeah.
Congrats, dumbass. A search of Schaefer's iPhone yielded a troubling dialogue exchange this defendant seems to have had with artificial intelligence software installed on his phone, investigators reported. During his typo-laden conversation with ChatGPT, either because he was stupid or because he was drunk, Schaefer asked, I know we're not in not safe for work territory, so I'll try to clean this up a little bit. How effed am I? And kill I go to jail with a Q. After the AI program gave tips about the potential outcome of getting caught or being involved in this kind of behavior, Schaefer typed, "What if I smash the blank out of multiple cars?" At one point, cops said Schaefer asked ChatGPT if MSU has cameras in the freshman parking lot. Boy, he got specific, didn't he?
Draw you a map of exactly where I committed my crimes.
Let me just take pictures for you and put them through the program and see
Wait,
if maybe...
here's a video of me doing it. Am I going to get in trouble for this?
Do you think they can point me out if this was me? let me circle me on the video. Apparently referring to prior vandalism, Schaefer, who's a sophomore at the time of the arrest, wrote, "I got away with it last year, and I don't think there's any way they could know my face."
Hey, I did it this time and that other time.
Oh, my God.
Bust me for that too, please. My goodness.
Does he think this is a priest he's confessing to?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, this is a sad statement of the reality of our youth. They feel like this is where they go to get their problems out or problem solve. Like you're problem solving with AI, you got an issue.
He then typed, and I'm going to spell this out for you, Jess, because this is telling you how our education system has failed our youth, especially in Missouri. He typed, "It felt really RRLLY nice to F their hit up." He added that he effed up all those useless effers' cars and that all deserve to get, oh my gosh, arred and murdered.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes, buddy. I guess we should just be thankful he only ruined their cars.
Yeah, right.
What a
Although
little psycho.
maybe he stuck it in a tailpipe because, how did I put it? All holes are habitats earlier. I'm not sure. Maybe he ran into a chipmunk or something there and it squeezed his nuts. Who knows? Maybe that's why he's so mad.
Could be.
Yeah. Way to go, chipmunks. Following Schaefer's arrest, a judge barred him from any premises where the primary item for sale is alcoholic beverages and required him to comply with random testing for drugs or alcohol. Way to go, judge. It's unclear what impact Schaefer's criminal case has had on his educational pursuits. My guess is he's been kicked out of college.
I mean, I would hope so. Of all the suspendable offenses, I feel like he's committed them.
Yeah. We're not going too far for the next story, Jess. We're staying in Springfield, Missouri.
Really? What's going on, Missouri?
It's not the bastion of great behavior. I
Is
think
this
it's
the new Florida? The Florida
it's
of the Midwest?
the Florida of the Midwest. Yes, Springfield, Missouri, the Florida of the Midwest. A Springfield man was sentenced in federal court for illegally possessing a firearm. How he got there is very interesting. As the headline for this reads, Springfield man sentenced to 100 months after an unpaid McDonald's order.
What?
Just wait
Do
till you
tell.
Yeah. According to a press release from the Department of Justice, Kai Wesley Burton, who's all of 30 years old, he's old enough to know better, young enough to get 100 months, was sentenced to 100 months in federal prison without parole. That's right. He's doing the whole 100 months for this, Jess, followed by 3 years of supervised release. So he's going to get the 100 months plus 3 years of supervised release for this. Are you ready? The probable cause statement says the incident occurred May 11th, 2025, when a drive-through employee for a McDonald's restaurant on West Sunshine Street in Springfield reported that Burton was at the drive-through window with a firearm on his lap with other passengers in his vehicle.
Oh.
So remember, when you're going through the drive-through at McDonald's, don't put your gun in your lap and point
That's
it at
scary.
and there's an important part, don't point it at the window. Okay, kids? Witnesses reported that a vehicle driven by Burton went through the drive-through, bypassing the order kiosk. Here's the other thing. Don't go past the order kiosk with a gun in your lap. Okay? And drove directly to one of the windows. When he reached the window of the drive-through, Burton had a pistol in his lap, and that pistol was pointed at the building. Here's the semantics of the deal. All right? Burton provided the employee at the window with a sticker containing a food order that had been placed and fulfilled about an hour prior. Due to the presence of the firearm, the employees made the food and gave it to Burton. He then drove away without paying for the food. All right, there's your theft.
All right.
Yep. Burton returned to the restaurant hours later, where Springfield police attempted to stop Burton. Burton then fled the scene, eventually abandoning the vehicle and fleeing on foot. 2 pistols were found in the vehicle. Not good news for Burton. Burton was previously convicted on multiple felonies, including authorized use of a motor vehicle. Unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Under federal law, it is illegal for anyone who's been convicted of a felony to have a firearm or ammunition. So he screwed up pretty bad.
Well, then he came back to the scene of the crime. He got away, and he got busted because he came back.
It must have been Shamrock's shake season, and he needed seconds. I have no
Or
idea.
McRibs, I mean.
Yeah, and he was fiending.
Wow.
Who goes back to a McDonald's twice in one day?
Yeah, like right after you did that. Like, at least go to a different McDonald's, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or maybe branch out, go to Burger King.
Right?
If you can find yourself a Hardee's, remember those?
Oh, yeah.
There's a few of them still around.
When was the last time you've been to one?
Oh, it's been forever. I mean, there's one not far from my dad's like farm, so that's why I know they still exist, but not even there in many, I mean, maybe a couple decades.
Yeah, when was the last time I went to Hardee's? I think 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know that I enjoyed it. I don't know
But you
that.
got fed and you're full.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Full is a relative term. I wanted a Frisco burger because I hadn't had one in a long time, and it wasn't what I remembered.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think it's changed, or is it just like the nostalgia? You were just remember it better than it actually was.
It was both. It's
Yeah.
changed. Since Carl's Jr. took over, it's changed.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, we used to have one in my hometown, so I would eat at Hardee's. Not McDonald's was across the street, so we would typically go to McDonald's, but sometimes you just felt like, mixing it up.
Yeah. 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 Is it just, I don't know. It just isn't the same. Mm. And
Mm,
I won't, I digress. It's not worth, getting all excited over, but eh, it's just, you know,
yeah.
yeah. I thought it'd be a big treat and it just fell flat.
Get your hopes up. You were excited.
You know what? You mentioned one restaurant that's kind of turned it around a little bit. That's
Burger King?
Burger King. Have you been there
Yeah.
recently? Yeah.
I mean, it's probably also been a couple years, but I ate at a Burger King when they came out with that Impossible Burger because it was during my let's try not eating meat phase to see if my stomach would feel better.
Yeah.
And I was good. Yeah, my favorite thing though of all my fast food, I was just telling my husband this the other day. One of my very favorite meals from a fast food place is Burger King's original chicken sandwich. I just don't know
Yes.
why. It's just my favorite. It's very basic, it's very simple. It's probably not even a real piece of meat. It feels like a nugget, It's kind of like
Yeah. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
ground up and I love it though.
Yeah. Actually, my grandma used to love the original chicken sandwich at Burger King.
Yeah. If I
Yeah.
could eat that without getting a stomach ache, I'd go get one right now.
Towards the end of her life, that was one of the things that she would, if I'd say, Grandma, what do you want me to get you? She'd say that. It would
Yeah.
be chicken sandwich from Burger King or yeah, yeah,
And I love their fries. I think their fries are good too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's I was gonna say there was a list that I was looking at this weekend. Every once in a while when you're looking at Apple News, they have, especially if you get into the foodie thing, they'll send you lists or different magazines have lists of top 10 whatever, top 10 burgers, top 10 chicken sandwiches as rated by chefs or whatever. I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, um, but they had the top 10 chicken sandwiches. So
Mhm.
like number two was Popeyes, but the original chicken sandwich from Burger King was like number 9 out of 10. I'm like,
Really?
you got to be kidding me, really? Number nine? Number nine.
Ah,
But yeah, I thought I thought it was better than that.
I would rate it higher, but I guess I don't know what the other contenders were.
Number one was the original chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
Well, yes. I mean, they marinate that and oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Number two was Popeyes. Number three was, and I'd never had it, was the chicken sandwich from Cane's.
Oh, I haven't had that either, but I bet that would be good if they put the
Yeah,
cane sauce on it.
I've never had it.
I didn't even know that was an option. I thought you like legitimately could only get
Yeah,
the
chicken.
chicken strips and fries.
Right. Yeah,
Huh.
but yeah.
I've never had one from Popeyes either.
Oh, the Popeyes chicken sandwiches to die for. Yeah.
I need to try it.
Yeah. Oh, remember it? Don't you remember when that was like the thing? Like I think people were killing each other for it.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, they even had a skit on Saturday Night Live about the Popeyes chicken sandwich. It was a few years ago when it first came out. It was like the thing. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to try that sometime. That sounds
Yeah.
good. My
Oh,
stomach's grumbling now. I'm hungry.
hey, sorry. I'll get our mind off food here and we'll get back to the program. Our next story has to do with an Australian nurse. By the way, this is an old Seinfeld bit. I know. You guys are going to hear the story and go, I watched this episode of Seinfeld. But you truly can get arrested for this. An Australian nurse was busted for faking her grandfather's death to avoid an airline fee. Yes, it can happen.
Hmm.
Yeah. I know you guys think, oh, no, I'll just, get the death certificate and get the lower fee, right? Get the
Yeah.
bereavement fee. Doesn't work like that. An Australian nurse faked the death of her grandfather, even going so far as to forge a death certificate to avoid paying an airline charge. The 29-year-old, whose identity was not revealed, had booked a seat on Qantas Airways flight for his grandfather to attend his wedding in Queensland in April of 2024, according to the Australian Newswire. The nurse had to cancel the ticket after his ailing relative, who no longer was allowed to fly because of a cardiac event that he had suffered months earlier in late 2023. That sentence is confusing. When the younger man sought a refund for the plane fare, he learned the ticket was non-refundable unless the passenger for the ticket had died. Rather than paying the nearly $1,000 fee, the nurse instead downloaded a life extinct form that he found online and filled it out with fake details about his grandfather's quote unquote death
Oh, no.
to try and get that ticket money back, right? He submitted the document to the airline and got his money back using made up details, falsifying a unique record number and forging a doctor's signature. So
How'd they bust him, I wonder?
Well, the ruse didn't last long as the airlines reported the fake document to police, who launched an investigation and eventually arrested the fraudster. They must have seen something that didn't look right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they checked the number against state records.
I would think that would be pretty easy to do. There has to be a database where you just type it in
and just double check.
Yeah. Want.
He pleaded guilty in August of 2024 to counts of forgery. It says uttering and fraud. Uttering, yes. Forgery, uttering, and fraud. Dishonestly obtaining property from another. The court sentenced him to a 12-month good behavior bond and ordered the man to pay the airline in restitution. At the time, the nurse had also been fired from his job at a Queensland hospital. So he also lost his job.
Yeah.
Over 2 years after creating the scheme, the man is back answering for his crimes, this time in front of the Queensland Civil and Administrative Tribunal. I'll get that right. A health ombudsman had brought the case against the man as the tribunal sought to remove his nurse's registration. The man claimed he was recovering from an illness that left him with permanent disabilities. Oh, maybe he's going for round 2 here. He also blamed his forgery on a serious mental illness and even shared a doctor's ruling that found the disease may have played a factor in the fraud. The tribunal reprimanded the man's actions, which were inconsistent with being a fit and proper person to hold registration in his profession and constituted professional misconduct. The panel, however, did not revoke his registration, saying the man had made strides to better his mental health and he had shown remorse for his actions. He's just trying to get over everywhere, isn't he?
He is. He's kind of slippery.
That's a good way. Thank you for putting it that way, Jess. He's kind of slippery. It's not saying that's necessarily his character, but, just wanting to get away with a few things.
Yeah.
Wanting to put one over. Right?
I mean, I can see the temptation to do the death certificate thing because you want to get your money back. It's not fair not to get your refund if you can't use the ticket.
Well, now that fuel prices are at an all-time high, I would think more people would be trying it.
It's so expensive. But then I would what would make me not do it, other than just I'm a fairly honest person, is I would be afraid if I said my grandpa died, then he would die. And then I'd be like, oh, that was all my fault.
Yeah, that you put the curse of the juju on him, right?
Yeah. I just don't want to make that bad karma.
Right. Then you really have to use it.
Yep.
You try to have to use it twice. That's for sure. That's not the only story we have about Qantas Airlines this week.
Really?
We have a second one. Yes. This one is a little more violent.
Oh.
Yes. A Qantas plane was diverted after a passenger allegedly bit a flight attendant on a Melbourne to U.S. journey.
Why do you rate a person, animal? Possessed by a Wendigo?
Right. Yeah, I know. Right. Or by something, the Tasmanian devil, maybe. A flight heading from Melbourne to the United States has been diverted to Tahiti after a passenger. Well, you could stay there, right? I mean, that's not a bad diversion.
Somebody paid him off. Bite that lady so we can get diverted to Tahiti.
That's right. I'd like to go to Tahiti. Would you just bite her for a second? Just a second. It was diverted to Tahiti after a passenger was reported to have allegedly bit a flight attendant. Qantas had confirmed flight QF21 between Melbourne and Dallas was diverted on Friday. Due to a disruptive passenger on board, the ABC understands the passenger allegedly bit the crew member, and fellow passengers helped restrained him, rather. Local authorities in Tahiti met the plane on its arrival in Papeete. Do you think it was a ceremonial greeting, or was it just, a regular greeting like, we'll restrain him, or, da, 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 they
Like
do.
your version.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pretend it was that.
Yeah. They all came up, and they did like a traditional Tahitian dance, and you got Tahitian treat pop and all that other stuff. I'm just thinking that. So I've never been to Tahiti, but
I haven't either, but
yeah, I'm thinking, and
now we
maybe,
know how to go. If we ever want to go, now we know how to get there.
right. Yeah. You just bite
Right?
somebody on
Who's
Qantas.
going to do the biting, you or me?
Uh, well, I'm kind of peckish right now. I'll do it.
You got me thinking about chicken sandwiches. I'll take a big old bite out of that girl.
Oh, there you go. All right. Qantas said the passenger had been issued a no-fly ban on the company's planes. The safety of our customers and crew is number one in our priority, and we have zero tolerance for disruptive or threatening behavior on our flights. The only downside to that is you'll never ride a plane that John Travolta is piloting again if you don't go Qantas. So that's the only downside.
That would be the downside.
That would be. The plane was refueled and resumed its journey with the rest of the passengers arriving in Dallas on Saturday morning. The AFP and Tahitian police were contacted for comment, but I don't think they made one, other than the fruit here is fresh. I mean, that's the only comment you'd get from them, really. This next story, Jess, a little bit of a giggle, a little bit of a, oh my God, no.
Oh, no.
It's a 6 1, half dozen of the other.
All right.
First part of the headline, oh my God, that's funny. Second part, oh my God, no.
And then I'll feel bad for laughing. Okay, let's go.
Right, you ready? Here we go. And I'm going to do a little pause here so you can laugh, so you can get your laugh in. Couple allegedly stuffed 3 monkeys in their underwear in a sick smuggling bid.
Not the monkeys. What did they do to deserve to be stuck in your underwear?
Right? No more monkeys stuffed in your undies. I mean, that's kind of a funny little, nursery rhyme to say, is you're stuffing shit in your underwear. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear, but it did cause one to, right? I know, Travis, but it did cause one to suffocate.
No.
I told you it would make
the what? Death by suffocation in someone's underwear.
Right.
I can't think of anything worse.
Monkey, meet my snake.
Oh.
Yeah.
How
I
sad.
told you there'd be a mixed reaction to this.
Oh, I hate this story. At first, I just thought it was funny and cute, and now I'm just so sad for the monkey.
I mean, but didn't it start out good?
Yeah, it was. Darn it.
I mean, it was a no more monkeys jumping on the bed, and then they broke their head, right?
They freaking killed him. Those bastards.
That's very South Park of you. You bastards. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know I should go on and read it, but
just what a terrible way to die.
I mean, I'm trying to envision the monkey in his last moments. I mean, it's the kind of,
he's pure panic. He's down there. It's dark, it's scratchy because there's hair everywhere. It smells bad, and now
humid. I mean, yeah, and
a little moist. Oh,
he's either choking on shrimp or he's choking on. I mean, it could be a horrible way to go, but I mean. Yeah, or choking on.
If you're the person with the monkey in there, don't you think the reaction of the monkey as he's dying is to have little death throes and try to scratch to get out? I hope he scratched the ever loving crap out of that person's testicles. I assume it was a man.
Yeah, I would too. Because if it was a woman, I mean, maybe she was enjoying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean. What an unusual way to go.
I mean, I hope that little fellow left a mark.
I hope so too, or was able to write in English, help. scratch it in somehow
How
on.
big were these monkeys? I mean, I think of monkeys as being a little too large to be stuffed in my underpants
Well, they
in
could be.
multiples.
Remember me telling you about finger monkeys?
Oh, yeah. Is that what they were?
They
Oh,
could have been finger monkeys. Uh, well, here, I'll read the story and I'll tell you. A Colombian couple allegedly strapped 3 baby monkeys to their underwear. It sounds like a joke, I know. In a twisted bid to smuggle them into the Dominican Republic, with one of the terrified primates suffocating and dying. The unidentified 27-year-old woman and 26-year-old man were busted at Cartagena's Rafael Nunez International Airport after stunned authorities discovered the monkeys. 2 white-faced capuchins and a howler. Those are not small monkeys.
how on earth, Tim?
What? Oh my God, I have a picture of one of them.
Hope not the dead one.
It is the dead one.
No, Tim, you're gonna make me cry.
I'm not going to show it to you. I'm not going to show it to you.
Wow.
They were stuffed in their underwear, according to local police in the U.S. Sun. The capuchins survived the brutal trek, but the howler is believed to have been suffocated inside their clothing. Oh, I do have a picture of the 2 capuchins that lived, though. They're the cutest things ever. Do you want to see the 2 capuchins?
Yeah, let me see those traumatized little babies.
They don't look traumatized. They look
Oh,
very, very cute. Look at
yeah,
them.
how can you do that to them? Look how cute they look, like little humans.
Look at those little guys.
Oh, I want one.
Yeah, I want one too. Look at those little guys. Ah, I want one. You know, Frankie the monkey at Intrigue Theater. He's a capuchin, I think. He's
They're
a
so
cute
cute.
guy. I know. They're the cutest thing ever. Cartagena Police Brigadier General Gelvar Yacid Peña Arak told The Sun this practice is evidence of absolute cruelty and flagrant violation of animal rights. The animal died in conditions that we can only describe as inhumane. Well, either way, yeah. Whether it's the guy or the gal who's trying to smuggle them in, try to hold me against your pubic region until I suffocate. Yeah,
I know.
yeah. Harrowing footage showed the 2 surviving primates sleeping while clinging to a teddy bear and a towel. Other clips captured wildlife officials who took custody of the scared animals, feeding and caring for the tiny capuchins. Oh, there's such cute little pictures of the guys. They have a picture of them feeding them too. Another snap released by police showed the sick couple of La Hagua de Abriquio standing beside 2 officers with their heads bowed and handcuffed behind their backs after their shocking arrest. They didn't show them putting the tasers to their lower region. So, I mean, that's the part they missed.
They should have done that.
The monkeys reportedly worth over $1.4 million on the global black market.
Whoa.
Seen laid out on a table in front of the deranged pair. 1.4 million. I think that's why they took the chance.
I mean,
But
it's a lot
still,
of money.
yeah, it is. The duo was charged with illegal exploitation of natural resources and wildlife trafficking, according to the outlet. They face up to 11 years behind bars if convicted. Even so, 11 years does not seem like enough for killing that little howler monkey.
No, and you know, I Googled it while you were talking about it, and I saw the dead one, and now I'm sad.
Why did you do that? See, I protected you from not seeing it.
I was too curious. I wanted to see the couple.
Well, I could have zoomed it out so you could have seen the couple standing there without
I'm so
showing
mad at
you
them
all.
right now. He was so big, though. Like, what makes you think you can just stick that in your underpants?
Pride,
What's wrong?
ego. I mean,
What is wrong with people?
maybe the guy was like, I got room, and he didn't. He's overestimating as usual.
He's got nothing else down there. He's got plenty of space.
That's right. Guys, they're like, I'm packing 18 inches down there, and it's more like 2. Probably thinking, he probably thought he's got a vine he can swing from down there, and he didn't. Probably lost his grip and choked on his nuts. Who knows? I mean, I know we're not safe for work territory. I probably shouldn't be talking like that, but I don't know. Speaking of monkeys, I got one other monkey story here. This one a little lighter than the last one, so I figured I'd lead with a knockout blow and then come back with a jab, as opposed to the other way around.
Well, thank you. Don't make me sad with another horrible monkey story.
No, this one I think actually is a little lighter. I think these guys were unsuccessful. Two men were arrested after a trespassing incident at the enclosure of where Punch the monkey is at a zoo near Tokyo.
Yeah, we know Punch.
Yeah, I don't know if they were trying to kidnap Punch or what they were trying to do, but we go to Chiba, Japan in Kyoto, where two men claiming to be U.S. nationals have been arrested following a trespassing incident at the enclosure of Punch, a Japanese macaque abandoned by his mother who had gone viral for clinging to an orangutan plushie at a zoo near Tokyo. Police said on Monday the arrest on suspicion of forcible obstruction of business came after one of the men climbed over a fence into the monkey habitat at Ichikawa City Zoo in Chiba Prefecture on Sunday morning, while the other filmed him with a smartphone. No monkeys, by the way, were injured while they did this. My whole thing is, okay, you're going to jump into the monkey habitat. Then what? Because the monkeys aren't going to accept you as one of their own.
No, you're not going to get a hug, but you might get your face ripped off.
Yes, there's that. Or you're going to have, be ripped limb from limb, or, they're not going to, invite you in for a beer. That isn't going to happen.
At minimum, they're going to go throw poop at you.
Yes, yeah. The man who scaled the fence was dressed in a character costume and claimed to be a 24-year-old university student, while the other man claimed to be a 27-year-old singer. According to the police, both have denied the allegations. This is why women need to start ruling the world. Punch was born in July and later gave the orangutan plushie by zookeepers as a substitute for his mother. He began living with other monkeys in the enclosure in January, and the zoo has posted updates on his progress on social media, gaining attention online and drawing many visitors. And those two men, those two jackasses, well, who knows? They too, I think, were tased in the balls as punishment. What they did.
It was probably something for TikTok.
Which is a horrible idea. I'm going to get in costume and jump into the monkey habitat.
Yeah.
Let's see what wackiness occurs.
Let's go viral.
Let's go live on TikTok and see what happens. Let's see how many stars we get. I got an idea. Let's see if you survive. That's fun.
Yeah.
If you think that's fun, Jess, we're going to Seattle, where a man fell through the ceiling at a Ballard gym. Tell me, you're in the locker room at the gym, and a man falls through the ceiling. What's your first thought?
That he's trying to creep a peek.
Probably. We go to Seattle, where the Seattle Police Department says a man in his 50s, again, old enough to know better, the reason why women should probably rule the world. A man in his 50s made his way into the ceiling of an LA Fitness in Ballard on Thursday afternoon, then fell about 15 feet to the ground. Unfortunately, he still lives. Officers responded at around 3 p.m., and witnesses told police the man first entered the gym and went into both the women's and men's bathrooms. Then he couldn't be found. Oh, good. A gym patron then told staff they thought someone was walking around in the ceiling after seeing the man's foot break through a ceiling tile. Gym staff told the SPD the man then fell through the ceiling and landed on the ground about 15 feet below, and he was knocked unconscious. Officers believed he was experiencing a mental health crisis, and he was unaware that he had fallen through the ceiling. He was brought to Harborview Medical Center and facing property destruction charges, according to the SPD. That's it. Just destruction charges.
Huh. Seems like you should have got a little bit more, but
just a little bit more. All right. With that, it's time now for Not Safe for Work. I know we got a little bit randy there, but that's okay. It wasn't too randy where the kids couldn't, couldn't be pulled back from the radio, or nothing could radio. Listen to me. Good God.
Your whole radio days
Yes.
flooding back.
Yeah. They couldn't be pulled back from the listening device and things couldn't be explained to them. Um, but in this case, take your boss, hide him in his office, take your kids, hide them in the closet. We're about to get medieval on everyone's ass, and it's about to happen here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Here's the situation, kids. The whole reason we're about to get medieval on someone's ass, and I mean someone's ass at that, is we're literally about to get medieval on someone's ass. And this has to do with, if you can't do something nice or right, tell somebody about it and then show them how to do it, or at least show them how to do it on them.
Okay.
And here's what I mean. A silver-haired couple allegedly beat up a mom because they didn't like how she disciplined her kid in public.
Oh,
In other words, let me show you how to beat your kid. I'm going to start by beating you.
you're not spanking him hard enough. Come over
That's
here.
right. Here, let me bend you over my knee, kid, and I'll show you how to beat your kid. And of course, if you're going to get that kind of lesson, have that kind of lesson doled out to you, where do you think that happens, Jess?
At the mall.
Okay, yes, probably the mall or the shopping or the store, the
The
grocery.
elderly couple was clearly doing their laps, as elderly people do at the mall.
Right. But what state do you think that happens in?
Oh,
State of shock.
well, I mean, today I'm going to say Missouri, but Florida has to
Yes,
be Florida.
yes, it definitely happened in Florida, or a state of shock. A married couple landed behind bars in Florida on Wednesday for allegedly stopping a mom from disciplining her misbehaving child who had just spit in her face.
Ooh,
Yeah,
naughty.
yeah. The mom told cops that the fracas in a Davie parking lot started when she got in a heated argument with her 4-year-old son, who spat at her after she reprimanded him for acting up. That, according to Local 10 WPLG. The mom smacked her kid in the mouth and the torso in an attempt to keep the brat in line. 66-year-old Terry Williams, however, and his gray-haired wife, 63-year-old Mary, witnessed the tussle between the two and raced over to intervene. Why? Because it's their God-given right. Terry began to criticize the mother for how she disciplined her child, claiming that he worked for the Florida Department of Children and Families and that she shouldn't yell or hit her kid.
Did he?
I guess so.
Wow.
His wife Mary soon joined in the shame session, refusing to leave as the mom tried to get into her car with her son. That's when things got nasty. Okay. Mary scratched and choked the mom to the point where she nearly passed out, ripping her shirt.
Mary.
Yes. Yeah, according to the mom's statement to the cops. This, by the way, is the old bird who knows how to take you down in a parking lot.
Don't spank your child or whatever, but
Yeah,
I'm going to beat the ever-loving crap out of you.
that's right. Mary Williams is the one
Wow,
who
Mary.
scratched and choked the mother. This guy right here, by the way, Terry Williams knows how to take a mugshot. Look at this. Look at this guy right here. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
He's looking off to the side like a mischievous look at himself.
Yeah, he's like, I did not totally reprimand your kid. Her husband, Terry, by the way, quickly joined in, pulling the woman's hair and her shirt.
Yeah.
He just wanted to see some titties. When the pummeling was over, the woman was left standing in her bra with scratches on her throat and a cut on her lower lip, according to cops.
Oh my goodness. What is more traumatizing for this kid? Having his mom discipline him or seeing his mom with her top ripped off, bloody and beaten by these people?
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's completely nuts. A woman who witnessed the incident claimed the couple was outright attacking the mom. They were on both sides and they were just grabbing her and they were ripping the scrub shirt off of her. Scrub shirt, so she works in healthcare?
So she just got done working a long day and her kids spit in her face and she's just done.
And she
I mean,
lost it.
I never spanked my kids or slapped them or anything, but I mean, you don't know what's going on.
That's true.
Mind your business, Chad and Karen.
That's right. That's right, Chad and Karen. Mind your business. The woman said that the couple looked like they were attempting to bring her to the ground. They were going to ground and pound this woman in the middle of the parking lot? Holy cripes. She was struggling, and that's why her scrub shirt was being torn off of her, the witness said. The Bad Samaritans were arrested by cops, with husband Terry being charged with battery. He went home after posting his $2,500 bail. Wife Mary was charged with battery and burglary. Her bail was set at $5,000. She's still in jail while her husband appeared in court. Terry Williams denied that anything happened when speaking to local reporters.
How can you deny that?
Maybe he just thinks, well, you know what? I didn't do anything.
Hmm.
He says, wow, really? That's interesting, Terry said when a reporter told him what the witnesses saw.
Oh, what a jerk. He just sounds like an absolute piece of work.
Yeah. He sounds like a complete asshole. But you know what? That's kind of how assholes act in public, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the par for the course there. So, yes, indeedy do. But they showed their true colors out in public. That's for sure. All right. You thought that was bad? I mean, we gotta start out somewhat bad today, right?
Is it going to get worse, Tim?
Maybe yes, maybe no. We can get the stories loaded up here. It's gonna be one of those days, Jess. I'll tell you this much. We'll go to this next story, and then we'll circle back. A West Palm Beach bachelorette pool party. Okay, so you're thinking bachelorette pool party, right? Good start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
sounds fun.
We're still in Florida. Starts out promisingly, ends up being crashed by a peeping Tom hiding in the bushes.
Ooh, creepy.
Or was it? Maybe he was hired by them. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe he's the hired work.
Although
He
when
has
I show
those rip away pants on.
even when I show you his picture, you'll go, no, he wasn't hired by them.
Maybe not. I mean, you never know what you're getting from those places, so maybe, but
I'd like the leering weirdo package, which I know is your cheapest package, because
it's all I can afford.
It's the least attractive one, and we need the most amount of alcohol to look at him and find him attractive. But yeah, that's the one I'd like, please. We go to West Palm Beach, Florida, where a bachelorette party at a West Palm Beach Airbnb turned frightening after police say a man watched women through bushes and exposed himself. Oh, that's the other part of the package you get. You literally get the package.
Oh no, whether you want it or not.
You want it or not. Yes, we'd like the peeping Tom with extra sausage, please. If you could, that'd be great. Yeah. Officers with the West Palm Beach Police Department were called to the 600 block of 36th Street at 2:19 p.m. on a Sunday. He didn't even take the Lord's Day off.
Oh, he just pops out of the bushes and is like, "Did somebody hire a stripper?" And they're like, "No." And he's like,
No.
"Well, never mind. That's okay.
Oh, well, would you like one?
Look what I got for you."
Well, you just had popped out of the bushes. Literally, he popped out. They called on Sunday for reports of a prowler and peeping Tom. Dispatchers say an unknown man, later identified as, 51-year-old Noel Roblero Mazarregos, was hiding behind bushes near the home, watching women at a pool during a bachelorette party at an Airbnb. Police were told the man was watching with his pants pulled down. At that point, you could have just went, gardener, and then totally ran off, right? I mean, once you've been caught. When officers arrived, they formed a perimeter they formed a perimeter for the peeping Tom. You could tell this police force has nothing to do.
How many people did they have come in to form the perimeter? That's so funny.
It's like they had a whole squadron out there. Like SWAT showed up with guns drawn. I got him in
They're
my.
all excited.
I could shoot his peep off from 100 yards. Would you like me to pull the trigger? No,
It's
it's
like
all
that
right.
scene
Stay
in
down.
Ghostbusters where they finally get a call for a ghost. They're like, "We got one."
We got one. We got a peeping Tom, sir. I could take his peep off from
Oh.
500 yards. Nope. Stand down, soldier. We want to catch him in the act. We're waiting for full flog, Sergeant. We're waiting for full flog. When officers arrived, they formed that perimeter and spotted a man matching the description the victims provided nearby. So wait, they had enough time to identify the guy, call in, give the description. They came up. What was this guy? Was this guy marathon flogging? I mean, he was just going at it. One victim told police she approached him, asked him to leave when he suddenly exposed himself again to her.
Huh. He wasn't smart enough to know he should get out of there once he was noticed.
She goes up and goes, "Excuse me, would you please leave?" And he's like, "After I'm done." After I'm done.
Not quite yet.
I'm not done yet. Police say the victims told investigators they were fearful during the encounter and wanted to press charges. Mazariegos was arrested and taken to the Palm Beach County Jail on charges of voyeurism and exposure of sexual organs, according to court documents. You know, just go. You know, the minute they're like, "We don't want you here. And we definitely don't want to see whatever it is you're holding." At that point, just go. Just take off. You know?
Just get out of there.
Yeah, they don't want you. You know, they didn't ask for the double sausage, you know. They didn't ask for the routine today. So, you know, just go. You're good. Take off, buddy. All right. Our next story. If you think that's bad, we have a woman who's a little out of control in our next story. This woman has stabbed her hairdresser. Now, you may think, well, that's a little tame for, you know, not safe for work, but she went viral for stabbing her hairdresser over a bad haircut and then was arrested in the UK for stripping off and assaulting police afterward.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, you got to have a little flair at the end. You know?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what a day. Stab your hairdresser and then go streaking.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to add a little flair at the end of your crime. A woman who went viral for stabbing a Brazilian hairdresser. Evidently, she needed a Brazilian. See, it's all semantics here, Jess. That woman who went viral for stabbing a Brazilian hairdresser for giving her a bad haircut was arrested in the UK last year after allegedly taking her clothes off in a bar and assaulting police. Footage of the horror moment. Lace Gabriela Barbosa de Cunha took out a kitchen knife from her handbag and plunged it into Eduardo Ferrari's back in Sao Paulo after complaining he had ruined her fringe, went viral last week. The 27-year-old was arrested on suspicion of wounding and threats after being overpowered by salon staff following the stabbing. The victim's lawyer has, however, said after they would press for attempted homicide charges and accused her of using a homophobic slur before the stabbing. Overnight, Brazilian press outed Lace as the protagonist of a bizarre incident in a UK bar last year, which ended with her detained under Section 2 of the Mental Health Act. According to a document obtained by Brazilian news outlet G1 from regional affiliate EPTV regarding an incident in in Britain, the individual was admitted under Section 2, and it was a second admission, the first of which had a similar presentation. These admissions are suspected to be substance-related. She had an acute psychotic relapse with chaotic presentation and aggression, posing a risk to herself and others. She became agitated in a bar, took her clothes off, and assaulted police. Because if you're going to beat the heck out of cops, why not do it naked? Right? I mean, you don't want them to have anything they can grab onto.
Well, that just gives them more things to grab onto, honestly, Tim.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
Well, you got your girls flailing around as you're beating them up.
Well, that's only if the high beams are on full, right? I mean, otherwise they've got pockets they can grab. They've got clothes they can grab. I mean, this way, especially if you oil yourself up, there's nothing to, you're slippery, slippery like a hog, right?
It's hard to grab onto someone who's greased themselves up with oil.
What you do is you get in the bar, you take all your clothes off, you douse yourself in, I don't know, your favorite beverage, and then you go at it with the cops. I mean, what are they going to do?
You have some baby oil in your pocket. It's like a ditty party.
See? You got it all planned out, Jess. You go to war with the cops.
That's right.
It's like you're right. It is like a ditty party. I'm pretty sure that's how Diddy tried to get away from cops. He just got naked, got the oil out, and then he tried to get away.
Oh, man.
Pretty sure. It wasn't immediately clear how the document was obtained, but Lace's defense lawyers are expected to use it to allege her actions last week were the result of mental health issues. So there's all that going on. The stab victim subsequently explained on a company Instagram that the arrested woman had returned a month after her hair treatment to demand her money back. A month! Saying she was unhappy with the result.
Wow, it took her that long to go back and ask for a refund?
Doesn't your hair grow back in a month?
Yeah, that's a little late. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. If I waited for a month, I would have nothing to complain about in a month if I let my hair grow. I mean, come on. By the way, he said he said she had turned aggressive after the hair salon declined to reimburse her at that point. The salon said, "Our view is what happened was a serious attempt at homicide." Wonder what her excuse was at the bar. Who knows?
Having a bad day. What other excuse do you need?
I don't know. No idea. All right. Our next story is an audio daily double. And for this story, I'll do a bit of a setup here. This couple's passionate moment at a national park was live streamed to the world. They're on a picnic table. And I believe this takes place, it's I think it's in Taiwan. This comes from Formosa News, and it is in English. So I'll go ahead and I'll say hi to Phoebe Buffet, first of all, who's in the background there. So there you go. Hi, Phoebe.
Losing her mind.
Losing her mind and wanting a little bit of camera time. So I'll say hi to her. And we'll play this story from Formosa News about this couple's passionate moment at a national park, which was live streamed to the world. Here we go.
A 23-year-old man and his girlfriend inadvertently became the stars of an adult cam show during a moment of passion at Yangmingshan National Park. The two lovers were having a heart-to-heart exchange on a picnic table at night, which was followed by a body-to-body exchange captured on a security cam live stream. More than 1,000 people tuned in to watch the spectacle, which could come at the price of a 9,000 NT or 1 year in prison for public indecency.
A sleepless couple admires the mountain scenery as they have a heart-to-heart. Moments later, passion took over.
擎天岗 is an ideal spot for a romantic late-night outing with your significant other. But if things get steamy, be warned that there is a camera live streaming your every nook and cranny.
The young lovers got their heart pumping here at the Qingtiangang grassland on Yangmingshan, and their tender moments were broadcast for the world to see. This picnic table has become a red-hot destination, luring many people over for a look.
I came here expressly to check out this landmark. It's crazy. Why would anyone get it on in full view of the camera? Everyone on Threads was posting about it. I also caught a bit of the live stream last night. I wanted to see if there were any traces of the moment, but no.
After the incident came to light, cleaning staff was dispatched to give the table a thorough wipe. The live stream footage wasn't very clear as it was late at night, but the sounds of love were captured by the camera's microphone. The intimate meeting, however, constitutes a crime of public indecency, and police have tracked down a 23-year-old man surnamed Gao thanks to his license plate. He admitted to driving his girlfriend up the mountain and said he would take time off work to make a statement with the police, but apparently didn't show up.
Be it intentionally or not, if you're filmed by a security camera, as long as you're seen or heard by strangers in the public space, it constitutes as public indecency.
The security camera inadvertently became an adult live cam, garnering more than 1,000 simultaneous viewers. In contrast, the other cams at the national park get single-digit figures at best. But this moment of glory could cost the couple a penny, as they are now facing up to a year behind bars or a fine of up to 9,000 NT.
So there you go. They're very upset at the fact that they only get single-digit figures at the national park, as opposed to the whole 1,000 that they got at the young couple who were getting it on. So
yeah, every nook and cranny, Tim.
Every nook and cranny. Parts of that story are very, very funny, especially the reactions and the whole. They came out right away to wipe it down. It's like
hose it off.
Hose it off. They had a whole like NASCAR team that comes out to maintain the picnic table afterwards.
They're just waiting in the background. It's going to happen. We've got all our cleaning supplies ready to go.
They got a power washer and antibacterial wipes, and they're just out there.
They come out in hazmat suits.
Yeah. And they're going, why?
Yeah.
Why don't you do that at home? So, yeah. With that, we need a palate cleanser.
Yes, please.
Yeah, the palate cleanser today, I put you through enough today, Jess, but today's palate cleanser is a bit of an odd one, although it will make you laugh. I guarantee you that. Today's palate cleanser has to do with, it's got an odd theme. I'm trying to remember what the theme is now, because I've even confused myself.
All that medicine you're on, Tim.
So the idea with this is this, that just when you think you're getting one thing, you're getting another. That's the theme of today's palate cleanser. Okay. This is the first time in my life, Jess, I'm ever going to say this particular phrase. Sodomized gargoyles beside Spain's world-famous Santiago Cathedral, the aberration only the public noticed.
Wow. The first time and hopefully the last, Tim.
I'm going to show you what I mean here. This is causing, for some reason, an outrage. It's been there for a few years now. The controversial restoration of the Hostel dos Reis I think it's Catalicos, considered the oldest hotel in Spain, slipped through everyone's administrative filter. Okay. Now there's two different ways you can look at these gargoyles. And these are it.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, what?
These are rain filters.
Oh, Tim.
So when the rain falls on the roof, Jess, the water's got to go somewhere, right?
I mean, why would they do this? It looks like a butthole, and then
that's exactly what it's supposed to look like, right?
Okay.
Somehow a sculptor got up there, put what looks like a man hanging off the roof and his butthole exposed, and the water goes through that and off the roof, right? So in the heart of Santiago de Compostela, steps from the city's world-famous cathedral, a restoration project has ignited a fierce debate over how Spain protects its heritage. Workers renovating the Hostal dos Reis Castelicos, which is a 15th century pilgrim hospital turned parador, installed copper pipes straight through its Renaissance gargoyles, leaving the sculptures visibly impaled. The images have shocked locals and specialists alike, forcing authorities into damage control mode. The public fury was instant. On Gargopedia, it's a real site, Gargopedia for gargoyles. The online platform created by art historian Dolores Herrero, Spain's leading specialist in gargoyles and chimeras. One follower summed up the mood bluntly. When a brain can't take anymore, aberrations like this happen. Others demanded resignations or insisted on seeing the face of whoever approved the intervention. Much of the anger focused on one image that quickly dominated local media. A waterspout in the shape of a naked man who, until a few months ago and since the 16th century, crouched with his genitals exposed while rainwater flowed through his anus. Another sentence I never thought I'd read on air.
Getting an enema.
That's right. It was a symbolic, playful gesture by a Renaissance stonemason. So it's not new. This is
right.
Old. Right? But now, as people describe it, he has been impaled, colonoscopied, sodomized by a long copper pipe installed during the multi-million-dollar euro restoration of the Parador, led by Spain's Institute of Tourism. So they said, hey, you know how we can improve this? You got this guy who's bent over on the roof. Let's shove a pipe in his ass.
Yeah. I don't know which one is more disturbing to see. I mean, the open butthole or
the pipe.
Right? Gushing water, or the pipe coming out of the butthole,
right.
Gushing water.
The figure displays its open buttocks to passerbys from the cornice of the Hostel dos Reis Católicos, or the oldest hotel in Spain, one of 4 heritage landmarks surrounding one of the most famous squares on the planet, the Plaza del Obradoro, or Doiro. To the left of Santiago de Compostela Cathedral, the gargoyles, which once spewed freely, are now encased in tubing, supposedly meant to protect the Baroque balconies below. So there's a reason why these tubes are there. They're protecting balconies.
Right.
Right.
So there was too much water pressure over the years on the balconies. It was causing damage.
It's causing erosion.
Just redirecting the spout.
That's right. The spout. Despite having poured over them for centuries, they were fully revealed only after Easter week. So he is risen. Let's shoot the water further.
Yeah, keep it holy. Literally, but holy.
But holy. Thank you. Yes. 16 gargoyles are affected, 8 on each balcony. These are whimsically carved stone spouts, monsters, animals, and human figures with teeth, tongues, and in one famous case, an exposed anus. All of them are now pierced by the copper lances described in the technical reports, their forms distorted yet photographed more than ever. Word is spread so quickly among pilgrims and tourists who at this time of year stream into the square that marks the end of the Way of St. James, or Camino del Santiago, as it's known in Spain, that the once ignored gargoyles have now become selfie backdrops and targets for Zoom-happy phones.
Why were people just not always taking selfies with the buttholes that were spurting water off the side of the hotel? I mean,
I would have.
I would be like, look, it's a butthole.
Look,
Ma.
Look, Ma, it's me with a butthole spurting water. By the way, public anger has spread quickly, and veteran reporters have alerted several media outlets to the architectural blunder, as they call it. The backlash swelled like a torrent from neighborhood groups to international architects and art historians. Among the strongest criticisms was an open letter by architect Carlos Enrique Fernandez Cotto, who is president of the Association for the Defense of Galician Cultural Heritage, APATRIGAL. In a lengthy statement, he argues that the solution to the humidity problems carried out for Turrispania introduces a visually aggressive element into one of the most sensitive ensembles in the country. For if Santiago de Compostela is the capital of the Spanish region of Galicia, The Praza de Obradoiro is its heart, he says, a space of maximum historical and symbolic significance, where every element forms part of an extremely delicate balance, which has now been colonized. I put that part in there. In such a place which does not tolerate trivialization, Apitrigal argues, the architect should aspire to go unnoticed. So, in other words, don't colonoscopy my anus.
Don't stick a big old pipe coming out of my gargoyle's butthole.
That's right. Let it free flow, baby.
Wow. I feel a little bad for that gargoyle. It's like every time it rains, he has explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, well, he says Galicians are unsettled by an intervention that does not understand the place. Fernandez Coto says, arguing that in the 21st century, there are technical solutions that do not require such rudimentary expressions, such as hidden conduits and integrated systems. This, he stresses, are a matter of social, cultural, and even civic importance. Boy, he really went to town.
Yeah.
Over a stone asshole.
He makes it sound really critical to the cultural dynamic of the whole country.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
He could have just said, don't mess with our buttholes. Thank you.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Drop the mic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big thing there in Spain. The other one isn't so serious. As stone assholes with flowing water. But I mean, it could have been, but it isn't. It has to do with what kind of trendy food item are you going to pack when you get on the plane? What can you fit in your carry-on? I mean, sometimes a snack is just a snack, but other times you need more than a snack. You need a meal.
Yeah, there are flights where you do need a meal, depending on when you depart, when you're going to land.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just hangry. And TSA has now made a final decision on packing trendy food items and tells passengers you can take as many as you can fit in your carry-on.
Really?
Yeah. You ready for this?
Yeah.
The TSA has defined its rules and will allow travelers to pack a popular grocery store item in its carry-on bags. Travelers may often try to bring different snacks through security with them to avoid hunger, while some items are banned. Are you ready for this, Jess?
Mm-hmm.
The one item you can bring as many as you can get on?
What is it?
Rotisserie chickens, baby.
What?
That's right. Get your grease on.
I feel like that would violate rules of carry-on materials. Apparently not. Okay.
Protein shakes, 3.4 ounces or less. That's it. But a
Okay,
rotisserie chicken, you get your grub on, girl.
Yeah, cram them in there. It's all you can handle.
Share with the plane.
Make friends.
As many as you can fit in your carry-on, they say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh, I was not expecting that to be the food of unlimitedness.
That's right. In a statement to the U.S. Sun, the TSA further confirmed they were allowed to say solid foods like rotisserie chicken are allowed in carry-on bags with no quantity limitations. In February, the TSA again told travelers that they're allowed to bring the popular food item on flights. Yes, you can absolutely bring an entire rotisserie chicken on an airplane, the TSA wrote on Facebook, along with a photo of a person carrying a unique bag holding their rotisserie chicken. So they showed somebody bringing one on a flight.
Don't get how you would travel with that without making a huge mess, but
That's got to smell really good when you first bring it on, but 4 hours into a flight from here to LA, that has got to smell nasty.
I mean, the thing with food is it smells good when you're eating it or you're like craving it, but if you're not expecting it, it just smells like a fart.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's got to be gross. Responding to the post on X, the National Chicken Council said they'd like to thank the TSA for their service. Under TSA rules, travelers are allowed to bring several other food items in their carry-on bags. Those items, by the way, that you can bring on. You ready for this, Jess?
Yes.
Bring that loaf of bread, girl.
Okay. So you're bringing your chicken, you're bringing your loaf of bread. Can I bring some mayonnaise?
No, because that's a liquid.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah. You can't bring candy. You can bring cooked meat, You can bring cookies. You can bring nuts. You can bring cakes. That's right. Bring a whole cake. Bring a whole chocolate cake with you and just dig into that thing. You can bring a pizza with you.
Wow.
And if you're feeling the spirit, cook up a whole pan of tamales for the entire plane and bring it with you.
You'd be the most loved passenger on the flight.
I'm telling you. Because those are the items you can bring with you on a plane. There you go.
Fascinating. I learned something very new today.
Wreak havoc. Let
I mean,
loose.
I didn't even think I could bring like a Pop-Tart with me. I'm always like, oh, we'll just buy food when we get into the, through the TSA.
Pop-Tarts are solid. They shouldn't stop.
No, you can bring all the Pop-Tarts you can handle. Pack them in there with your rotisserie chicken and your tamales.
Yeah. And your pizza. Bring your pizza, girl.
Don't forget your pizza.
Bring a whole chocolate cake.
But you can't have the dipping sauce for your pizza if you like that garlic butter. No.
Not unless it's under 3.4 ounces. Yeah. So there you go. All right. So that's our palate cleanser today, which ends up being a whole lot of stuff to cleanse your palate.
I'm really hungry. You started the show making me hungry. You ended the show leaving me hungry.
I didn't mean to, but I had to bring that up. Lots of good stuff. All right. Tomorrow, Supernatural News. Jess, you're back with us for Supernatural News.
Yay.
Got that going on. And Thursday, a little bit of a tease for Thursday. We're going to be talking the dribs and drabs of the first part of Disclosure and the moon stuff, the stuff with the recent moon mission with an old friend of ours. It's coming up.
Love it.
Someone you've seen on TV as well. It's coming up on Thursday. All right. That'll do it for this week. Couple of reminders for you. Please support the show. Go to darknessradioshow.com. Check out the swag that's there. Get yourself an item from there. Make sure you've got the Darkness Radio app updated. And tomorrow we'll have a couple of prayer and healing requests for you for a couple members of our audience that have requested that. So tune in tomorrow for that as well. For Jessica Freeberg, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for continuing to watch and listen us here at True Crime Tuesday. And again, if you have a guest suggestion for us, email me, tim@darknessradio.com. Thank you again for watching us, listening to us here on the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday.
For more audio and video archives of True Crime Tuesday, intriguing content, fun events, and cool swag, check out darknessradioshow.com. The executive producer of True Crime Tuesday is Troy Palmer. If you enjoyed today's show, please make sure you like and subscribe. This videocast is copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this videocast, including audio, video, descriptions, or accounts of today's show, is prohibited without the consent of Darkness Radio Management. Thank you for watching, and join us tomorrow for Supernatural News with Jessica Freeberg.